Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of English Unplugged. I'm Mike.
And I'm Aria. Today we're getting real about something that rules our world in one way or another, money.
Yes, the famous saying goes, money makes the world go round. But have you ever stopped to think about your personal relationship with money?
That's such an interesting point. Most people think of money as just numbers in a bank account, but it's so much deeper than that. It's emotional, cultural, and even psychological.
Exactly. Think about it, how we were raised often shapes the way we see money. If you grew up in a family where saving was a big deal, you might become cautious with spending.
And if you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, you might associate money with fear or limitation. On the other hand, if your parents were risk takers, you might see money as a tool for opportunity.
That's right. Money isn't just about income, it's about mindset. Here's a phrase for today's vocabulary list: money mindset. It means your beliefs and attitudes about earning, spending, and managing money.
For example, someone with a scarcity mindset often focuses on what they don't have. They're afraid to lose what they've got. Meanwhile, someone with an abundance mindset sees money as something that can grow, something that flows in and out.
And that affects everything, from career decisions to daily habits. If you believe there's never enough, you might play it safe. But if you believe there's always more to learn and earn, you take smarter risks.
Speaking of beliefs, have you noticed how money carries different meanings in different cultures?
Totally. In some places, talking about money is considered rude or personal. In others, it's just part of normal conversation, almost a status marker.
Right. For example, in some Western cultures, people openly discuss salaries or investments. But in many Eastern cultures, that would feel inappropriate or even showy.
It's funny how something universal can still feel so personal. Here's another expression: to live within your means. It means to spend only what you can afford, to not overspend.
Yeah, like if someone earns $2,000 a month but spends $3,000, they're definitely not living within their means.
Been there, done that. But seriously, this phrase connects back to emotional control. Because managing money isn't just math, it's self-awareness.
Exactly. I read somewhere that how we handle money says more about our values than our income. Some people spend on experiences, others save for security, and some give to feel meaningful.
That's such a powerful observation. So maybe the question isn't, how much money do I have? But rather, what does money mean to me?
Beautifully said. And maybe that's the real starting point for financial growth, understanding the emotions behind your choices.
100%. Because once you understand your relationship with money, every financial decision starts making more sense.
So listeners, here's your reflection exercise for this part. Take 1 minute and think, what kind of mindset do you have about money? Scarcity or abundance? Fear or confidence?
And remember, there's no right or wrong answer. Awareness is the first step to change.
Couldn't agree more. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how mindset shapes your financial behavior.
Money mindset.
Your overall attitude and beliefs about money, how you think, feel, and act around it. Example: people with a growth-oriented money mindset see financial challenges as opportunities to learn. Synonyms: financial attitude, money philosophy.
Scarcity mindset.
A way of thinking focused on what you lack, fearing that there's never enough. Example: with a scarcity mindset, you avoid taking risks because you're afraid of losing what little you have. Opposite: abundance mindset.
Abundance mindset.
The belief that opportunities and wealth are available if you look for them. Example: an abundance mindset encourages generosity and innovation. Synonyms: prosperity mindset, growth mindset.
To live within your means.
To spend only what you can afford, not to go into debt unnecessarily. Example: learning to live within your means builds financial stability. Synonyms: stay on budget, practice financial discipline.
Financial self-awareness.
Understanding your habits, emotions, and triggers around money. Example, financial self-awareness helps you recognize when you're overspending out of stress. Synonyms, money consciousness, mindful spending. Part 2, Money Mindset, Scarcity versus Abundance.
You know, Aria, I've always found it fascinating how two people can earn the same amount of money but feel completely different about it.
Exactly. It's not just about income, it's about mindset. Someone with a scarcity mindset might constantly think, what if I lose everything, while someone with an abundance mindset thinks, how can I grow what I have?
Right. The scarcity mindset comes from fear of not having enough. It makes people hold on tightly to money, avoid risks, and sometimes even feel jealous of others' success.
And the irony is, that fear often keeps people stuck. Because when you only focus on what you don't have, you miss opportunities that could actually improve your situation.
Exactly. I once read that your brain literally filters information based on what you focus on. So if you're always focused on lack, your brain notices more lack.
That's so true. It's like when you buy a new car, suddenly you see the same car everywhere. Your mind pays attention to what it recognizes.
On the flip side, an abundance mindset is about believing there's enough to go around, not just money, but opportunities, ideas, and success.
Yeah, and it's not about ignoring reality or pretending everything's perfect. It's more like saying, I can figure this out, instead of, I can't afford it. It's a shift from limitation to possibility.
I love that. You know, one of my favorite quotes says, you don't have to be rich to have an abundance mindset, you just have to think abundantly.
Exactly. It's about being grateful for what you already have while still aiming higher.
And here's the interesting part, studies show that people who think abundantly tend to make better financial decisions. They're more open to learning, investing, and collaborating.
Yes, because fear doesn't drive them. Curiosity does.
And that changes everything, from how you negotiate your salary to how you spend or save.
Totally. I had a friend once who was always stressed about money, even though she earned well. She'd say things like, I can't afford to relax, or I'll never have enough. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's powerful, and sad. Because if you keep repeating that story, it becomes your reality.
Exactly. Your words shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your behavior.
So if you want to move from scarcity to abundance, the first step is awareness. Notice how you talk about money. Are your sentences full of fear or possibility?
Beautifully said. Because before changing your financial situation, you have to change your financial story. Vocabulary break.
Scarcity mindset.
A belief that resources are limited and that there's never enough. Example, a scarcity mindset makes people avoid taking chances. Synonyms, fear-based thinking, deficit mentality.
Abundance mindset.
A belief that opportunities and success are available for everyone. Example, an abundance mindset encourages creativity and sharing. Synonyms, growth mentality, prosperity outlook.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
When your expectations or beliefs cause you to act in ways that make them come true. Example, her fear of failure became a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Financial story.
The personal narrative you tell yourself about money, shaped by beliefs, habits, and past experiences. Example, changing your financial story can change your financial future. Mindset reflection exercise. Okay, listeners, let's pause for a minute and do a quick reflection exercise. Don't worry, it's simple but powerful.
Yeah. You don't need a fancy notebook, just a piece of paper or the Notes app on your phone.
Ready? I want you to write down your first 3 thoughts when you hear the word money.
No judgment, just honesty. For example, some people might write stress, freedom, or security.
Exactly. Now look at those words. Are they positive, negative, or neutral?
That's your first clue to understanding your money mindset.
Next, think about where those beliefs came from. Family, culture, Past experiences.
And here's the key part, ask yourself, are these beliefs helping me or holding me back?
If they're holding you back, that's okay. Awareness is the first step to change.
Totally. You can even reframe those thoughts. For example, instead of, money is stressful, say, I'm learning to manage money with confidence.
Yes. Language shapes mindset, and mindset shapes your life.
So, take 2 minutes today to reflect and rewrite your money story. You'll be surprised how different it feels when your thoughts shift from fear to possibility.
Beautiful. And that reflection will prepare you perfectly for our next part, when we talk about the psychology of spending and saving. Part 3, the psychology of spending and saving.
You know, Aria, people often think money management is just about numbers, income, expenses, budgets. But honestly, it's way more psychological than mathematical.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it, we don't always spend because we need something. We spend because of how it makes us feel.
Exactly. Shopping can feel like therapy for some people. That's why they call it retail therapy.
Right. That momentary happiness you get when buying something new, it's not about the item itself. It's about the dopamine rush.
And that's where it gets tricky. Because our brain starts linking spending with emotional comfort. So, every time we're stressed or sad, we subconsciously want to buy something.
It's like emotional spending, using money to regulate emotions instead of solving the real problem.
Totally. And on the other side, there's financial guilt, that feeling of regret after spending money, even on something reasonable.
Yeah, especially when people were raised hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to save every penny. Those phrases create anxiety around spending.
And it's fascinating how that early conditioning shapes adult behavior. Some people become overspenders, others become extreme savers who can't enjoy what they've earned.
That's so true. It's not about being rich or poor, it's about emotional balance.
You nailed it. Financial health is emotional health in disguise.
Vocabulary break.
Retail therapy.
Shopping is a way to improve mood or relieve stress. Example, after a tough week, she went for some retail therapy at the mall. Synonyms, emotional shopping, stress spending.
Dopamine rush.
The sudden feeling of pleasure or excitement caused by certain activities. Example, buying something new can trigger a dopamine rush. Related, instant gratification, pleasure response.
Financial guilt.
Feeling regret or shame after spending money. Example, he felt financial guilt after buying a new phone even though he could afford it. Synonyms, spending remorse, buyer's guilt. You know what's interesting? When people try to fix their spending habits, they often start with budgets, apps, or spreadsheets, but not with emotions.
Exactly. Because if you don't understand why you spend, no spreadsheet will save you.
I always tell my students, money is emotional data. Every purchase tells a story about your needs, fears, or identity.
That's deep and true. Some people buy to feel successful, others to feel in control, some to escape boredom.
Yes. And the trick is awareness. Once you notice your emotional triggers, you can pause before spending.
Right. You can ask yourself, am I buying this because I really need it, or because I want to feel better right now?
That simple question can save you a lot of regret, and a lot of money.
And when you pair that emotional awareness with smart habits, like tracking expenses, setting goals, or using the 24-hour rule, that's when balance starts.
Exactly. The 24-hour rule is so simple. If you want to buy something expensive, wait 24 hours. If you still want it, fine. If not, you just saved yourself from an impulse.
It's almost like mindfulness, but for money.
Totally. Mindful spending, I love that phrase. Mindful spending reflection. So, listeners, here's your quick reflection challenge for today.
Think about your last 3 non-essential purchases, something you bought that you didn't really need.
Ask yourself, what emotion were you feeling before you bought it? Stress? Boredom? Happiness?
And then ask, did it actually make you feel better?
This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. Because once you understand your emotional spending patterns, you can control your money instead of letting it control you.
Exactly. Awareness first, change second.
And speaking of change, in our next part, we'll explore how society shapes our view of money, and how social comparison messes with our financial peace.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Don't go anywhere, we're just getting to the juicy part.
Vocabulary break.
Impulse buying.
Making unplanned purchases driven by emotion or desire rather than need. Example, I went to the store for bread and came home with a blender, classic impulse buying. Synonyms, spontaneous purchase, emotional spending.
Non-essential purchases.
Things you buy that aren't necessary for basic living or responsibilities. Example, cutting back on non-essential purchases can help you save for bigger goals. Synonyms, discretionary spending, luxury items.
Emotional triggers.
Events or feelings that lead to specific emotional reactions, in this case, spending. Example, stress and boredom are two common emotional triggers for overspending. Synonyms, emotional cues, behavioral triggers.
Overspending.
Spending more money than you can afford or plan to. Example, overspending usually comes from not tracking your expenses consistently. Synonyms, excessive spending, financial leakage.
Financial discipline.
The ability to control your spending and make thoughtful money decisions. Example, financial discipline is built through consistency, not restriction. Synonyms, money control, budgeting awareness. Part 4, The Social Mirror, How Society Shapes Our Money Beliefs.
You know, Aria, sometimes I feel like people don't actually spend money for themselves anymore. They spend it for others, for the image they want to project.
Absolutely. It's like social media turned money into a performance. People don't just buy things, they curate lifestyles. A coffee isn't just coffee anymore, it's content.
Exactly. We used to buy what we liked. Now we buy what looks good online. That need to impress is exhausting and expensive.
Right. There's this silent pressure to keep up. When you see your friends traveling or showing off new gadgets, you start questioning if you're doing enough, even if you were fine before.
It's the comparison trap. You see someone's highlight reel and compare it to your behind the scenes. Financially, that's dangerous because it fuels spending you can't sustain.
And let's not forget influencers. They're selling a dream disguised as a recommendation. But most people forget, it's their job to make you want something.
That's true. It's strange how money used to be about security, but now it's about identity. How you spend says who you are, or at least who you want to be.
Exactly. The problem is, when we tie our self-worth to our wallets, we end up chasing validation instead of value.
That's a powerful line, chasing validation instead of value. Maybe that's why minimalism became popular. It's not just about owning less, but about owning intentionally.
Yes, minimalism is like a quiet rebellion against consumerism. It says, I don't need more to be more.
I like that. Maybe the healthiest relationship with money isn't about how much we earn or spend, but how consciously we do both.
Totally agree. Being mindful doesn't mean being cheap. It means being aware of what actually adds value to your life.
So maybe the next time someone feels the urge to buy for show, they should pause and ask, am I buying this because I love it, or because I want someone else to love me for it?
Beautifully said, Mike. That's a question worth keeping. Not just for money, but for life in general. Vocabulary break. Okay, let's pause for a second. There were a few expressions in that last part that are definitely worth unpacking.
Yeah, some of them were pretty deep. Let's start with status symbol.
Perfect. So, a status symbol is something that shows other people how successful or wealthy you are, like a designer bag, a luxury car, or even an expensive watch. It's not just a product, it's a message.
Exactly. For example, If someone buys the newest iPhone every year, it might be less about the phone itself and more about the status it signals.
Right. The next one, consumerism. It's basically the belief that buying and owning things makes you happier or more fulfilled. But as we said earlier, that mindset can trap people into endless spending.
Yeah, consumerism is like a treadmill, you keep running, but you never really arrive anywhere.
Love that metaphor. Now, validation. We use this word to mean emotional approval, like when you need other people to like or notice what you're doing.
So when we said chasing validation instead of value, we meant people spend money to feel seen or admired, not necessarily satisfied.
Exactly. Next one, comparison trap. That's when you constantly compare your life to others and end up feeling behind or inadequate.
Yeah, that's a big one, especially on social media. You compare your real life to someone else's edited highlight reel.
And that never ends well. Last one, minimalism. It's a lifestyle focused on having less but enjoying more clarity, more purpose, more time.
So instead of buying 5 cheap things, a minimalist might buy one high-quality item they truly need. It's about choosing intentionally.
Beautifully said. So if you're listening and want to remember one takeaway, it's this: your money habits reflect your mindset. Change one, and the other follows. Part 5, the freedom factor, what money can't buy.
You know, after everything we've said about money, how we earn it, spend it, and sometimes chase it, there's one truth I keep coming back to.
What's that?
Money can give you comfort, but not peace. It can buy convenience, but not contentment.
That's powerful. And I think that's the difference between freedom from and freedom to.
Explain that.
Well, freedom from means escaping financial stress, like paying your bills, getting out of debt. But freedom to means having the space to do what truly matters, to create, to rest, to live intentionally.
Wow, that's such a good distinction. So it's not just about earning more, it's about designing your life around what brings meaning.
Exactly. Because money is only as valuable as the life it allows you to live. If you're working 80 hours a week just to afford things you don't even enjoy, is that really success?
Probably not. True wealth, I think, is when you have time. Time to breathe, to connect, to think, to just be.
And when you stop needing to prove anything to anyone. That's real freedom.
Yeah. And here's something I learned from a friend who's an economist. He said, people don't want money, they want the feeling they think money will give them.
That's so true. Peace, confidence, safety, respect, those are emotional currencies. And they're free, but they require awareness, not a paycheck.
Exactly. So, maybe the smartest money move isn't saving or spending, it's redefining what value means to you.
Love that. And if you're listening, maybe tonight just ask yourself one question: what do I really want my money to do for me?
If your answer is peace of mind, or freedom, or time, then you're already richer than you think.
Perfectly said. And that's the note we'll end on today. Quick recap, Q&A style.
Alright, quick recap before we wrap up. Question 1. What's the difference between freedom from and freedom to?
Freedom from is escaping financial stress. Freedom to is living with purpose and choice.
Nice. Second question. What did we say real wealth means?
Time, peace, and the ability to live on your own terms.
And final one. What can money never buy?
Self-worth, connection, or peace of mind. Those come from within.
Beautiful. And if you found this episode inspiring, share it with someone who needs a little financial peace today.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Remember, money is a tool, not a trophy.
See you next time on the Fluent Mind podcast.
If you have any questions about this episode, write them in the comments. Also, write us your suggestions for other topics that we will discuss in the upcoming episodes to learn English. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive new videos, my dear ones.